This is because there is no freedom, because we have got these imposed regimes on our population, and because we have got them, we will have always troubles. It will be always a reason. You will always find a reason. Sometimes it's football, sometimes it's another sport, sometimes it's in anything. Because you have got media which is controlled by the states, which is controlled by the elite, which is controlled by the business men or by the secret services, and they use it for their interest, only their interest, not the interest of the country or of the people. The development, the political development in both countries are suffering, both governments are not popular at all. They are rejected by their own population. We have seen many riots in Algeria the last few weeks. We have seen the same in Egypt, and we will see these things happening all the time. But as I said, they want to gain some time. They want to have some time to just say, listen, we are trying to do your best, and let's focus on football. Football, it's even let's assume that Algeria or Egypt will won even the World Championship or the World Cup. What will happen after that? Nothing. We will still in the same situation. Algeria and Egypt on the same day where the hostility between them, and Transparency organization, Transparency just said that both of them are on 111 ranks among 130 or 140. That means they are among the most corrupted regimes and the most corrupted economics in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yes, all right, thank you. Mr. Safa, do you think that this is really something that the political leaders are using in order to strengthen their regime, if we may say?
No, I don't think so at all. No, it's only about the people who really, and I just heard something or just read something about the Algerian newspapers. They were saying that the Egyptians by themselves, they are not living in a good way in Egypt, as if they are blaming them, and how come you are cheering for your football national team and you aren't asking about a better education. You're not asking about clean water. You're not asking about where the rights, about your rights, about the democracy. So no, I guess that the Algerians are blaming the Egyptians as if they're not living in a good or healthy way.
Mm-hmm. How about the Egyptians? Are they doing something of the sort? I mean, this is what we hear in the
they adore
media.
Football. The Egyptians, they are living for football. That's what I guess. And the stadium who was hosting the game between in
Sudan.
On the way, yeah, exactly. No, I'm talking about the second game that was in Egypt. There were 250,000 people as if waiting for themselves just to enter the stadium. They are living for football. They don't care about what's happening internally. I'm talking about political sides. They do care about football, and they're living about football.
They don't care who the successor is, for example, who Mubarak's successor is, if we may say. So you're saying that can we say that political leaders in Egypt have made their people live as such in order for them not to ask for any reform in such a country?
It could be an excuse.
Yes.
Yeah, it could be, honestly. Right. But I'm not that... because I know the Egyptian, how much he really adores and passionate and obsessive about the sports, especially when it comes to an international level. So the Egypt national team, especially because they are the best team ever in the history of African nation, really, in the continent. 2 times they won the African title, and they are the most favorites to win it again.
Yes. Let me jump to Dr. Mustafa. Dr. Mustafa, how do the political leaders benefit from such a situation right now, as Mr. Zitout has confirmed that it is the dictatorship that wants to keep the situation as such in order for it to be able to rule its people and for them not to ask for reform?
Well, this is an old tried technique of diversion of the real facts on the ground. Is very unfortunate. I mean, that is the carry on in the Middle East. The media enjoyed the frenzy but when there is important topic, important events and important crises, they become suddenly mute, conveniently mute, and almost castrated. So I think there is, they don't investigate. I'm talking about what I've read about Egyptian media. I don't know about the Algerian, which I don't think it will be much different. It will be about the same. But I think it's appalling. It's appalling that they're wasting time. This pseudo-nationalism by people walking the street and fisting the air because they're defending the Egyptian honor or the Algerian honor, that's total nonsense and nothing to do with reality. There's a lot of other important, as my colleague said before, issues which should be addressed, should be looked at in a calm, quiet, intelligent, and educated way. Not what we've seen last week, which seemed to me occupied the Egyptian media, and everyone wants to be hero in the government or outside the government. And really, at the end of the day, you could look at it as, like South America, baby dog, Castro, Raúl Castro, all these sort of things are manufactured in the Arab world in a very grand proportion. And I think that's all. It's nothing to do with the public in the street who's suffering. As my colleague said, the Egyptians are living for football. I think, in my view, that's totally untrue. Egyptians are living the real world and the real suffering. And I don't think playing football will fill your stomach with food if you haven't got food or clothes to wear. I think they do suffer. It's 80 million people. It's a huge, massive population, as big as Turkey. And with GDP extremely little even than the people in Gaza. So I think it's, if you look at it, I feel sorry for them. It's very sad.
Yes. Mr. Safa, what happened to fair play when it comes to sports games generally? How about the observers to this issue? Are they doing anything about it?
Till now, nothing. But usually it happens. Usually sports, especially when it comes to football, usually such clashes happen. Especially, we have a massacre named Hazel Massacre. It's like 30 years ago. It happened in Brussels, and always everything could happen when it comes to a game of football. But I guess before the game started between Algeria and Egypt, there were a clash. So. And
there was a certain rivalry.
Yeah, exactly. So the thing was happening before the game was started. And because Egypt first, as you know, they won on the overtime, okay, and after that they were, especially that the Algerians were trying to have the game in Tunisia because it's near to Algeria, and
Great.
That's
well, I hope we see better examples of fair play in the future. I want to thank my guests with me here today. We had Ghassan Safa, sports editor here in Beirut. We had Mr. Mohammed Zitout, former Algerian ambassador to Libya, and Dr. Wafi Mustafa from the Arab Conservative Network. Thank you for stay with us. We'll be right back as the war of attrition in Yemen continues.